Many people wonder what weapon they should be using in PvP. And of course, many people like many different weapons, but in this video, I'm going to be covering the top tier weapons that I personally love to use in my everyday PvP life. Let's start with hand cannons. Personally, my favorite weapon in the entire game is Ace of Spades, mostly for my love of Cade 6, but also just because of that 100 recoil. I'm joking, the 84 impact and 85 range are also incredibly good, and those are just two of the reasons why I absolutely love Ace of Spades. This really puts the cannon in hand cannon, and also, while you're doing this, you seem to have incredible luck with the weighted throwing knife, so I would recommend using that as well. Hawkmoon. Oh man. From first glance, this is incredible. Just the stats by itself say the whole story. Almost. We're not even taking into account the fact that it can one-shot with those paracausal charges. If you're good at getting headshots, then this is the weapon for you, as every 7 of them, you're going to be able to one-shot guys like nothing happened. This is the kind of weapon that wreaks havoc upon everyone that you see if you're a master at it, but also absolutely sucks if you're bad at it. It's your choice. Vigilance Wing. Oh man, you probably just like this weapon just because it fires 5 bursts in a row. Yeah, that's a good thing. Welcome to the team. This thing can shoot 5 bursts in a row, as I just said, making it very good for killing people, especially if you get all headshots and you're a master of your craft. When you use this weapon against unsuspecting people, they're going to be wondering why you're using Vigilance Wing as your main. You can be ready to show them why you're using Vigilance Wing as your main, and oh man, that is great. No time to explain. We would not be making a best PvP weapons without no time. Oh man, that 2 burst is so good. Why would you not want to use this? With basically an arc soul built into it, this is a no-brainer, and if you have it, I would recommend using it, as you will wreak havoc upon anyone who ever touches this pulse rifle that absolutely destroys in the Crucible. This is the most meta weapon that ever metaed in the history of Destiny metas, and honestly, I do not see many people using it, and I kind of understand why. It's too good. It should be banned. When I think about Wishender, I think about an incredibly high stat X-ray bow that can see through walls with incredibly long range. You might not understand everything I just said, but this is like the only weapon that gives you X-ray from just itself. This is a really good bow, and even if you're not really that good with bows like me, I still get at least 5 kills per round with this, just from knowing and anticipating exactly where everyone's going to be. So this is a really beginner-friendly bow, and I would really recommend checking it out if you're new to the game. This bow is so good that your opponents will actually think you are hacking until they see that they were killed by Wishender, by which they would be thinking that you heavily and thoroughly abuse the meta to the point that you will do anything to win, which is probably you if you were liking this bow. Monarch. Oh, this thing poisons. It poisons good. And those stats, those are so balanced that I would possibly take this over Wishender. In fact, this is the meta and will probably always be the meta unless it takes some Lord of Wolves nerf. The poison might not be as good as Wishender's X-ray, but it's still pretty good, and it can kind of track because of the damage numbers. Dead Man's Tale, the thing known for its hip-firing legendary accuracy. You can hip-fire this and with insane accuracy and 3-tap almost everyone. And don't tell me you're just going up there with your Warlock Glide and 3-tapping everyone that you can possibly get in your line of sight. Stop it. You're being good. And you're abusing everything that possibly makes it even better. Though if you like the shooting animation of it, or just the sound it makes, I would feel glad for you, because I do too. People might call you an old-timer, but it's still the best animation in the game. The Huckleberry. This thing used to be a champ, and it still probably is. Don't let the goofy stats confuse you, as the reload speed is not what it seems. This thing still hits like a champ, and if you can hit all your headshots, you can take your enemies down before they can even get you on their radar. Well, actually, it's an SMG, so they probably can. But you'll be able to kill them before they can even possibly shoot at you. Osteostiga. This thing shoots at a real snail's pace, but it homes to the head. And it does tons of damage. And while you might be shooting insanely slow, the delayed kill is really satisfying. You do need to own Witch Queen to get this weapon, and even then you do need to complete the campaign. But if you do, it's super worth it. And even though it did get nerfed with the recent Season of the Wish Necrotic Grips nerf, it's still very viable for both PvE and PvP. Finally on the list, we have Sweet Business. Honestly, I feel bad for recommending this, but I would not be making a video without this. For me, it's the most beginner-friendly, most overpowered weapon ever. And if you have a team full of these, then I would recommend not doing Crucible, because that will make the opponent rage quit and potentially get banned, because that's just how good this is. And it also has such a reputation for being so overpowered. At the beginning, it does shoot like an auto rifle, and it shoots incredibly slowly, and you're probably not going to kill it like this. But you really, once it gets fully charged, and especially with that Titan chest armor exotic, it becomes really good. And the time to kill is strikingly fast, to the point where if you see something, it disappears. Thank you guys for watching. Make sure to like, subscribe, and I'll see you guys next time.